Peace and love, beloved souls. And today's story is about how a family of 10 not only survives, but thrives on just $8.75 a month. Yes, I know you're saying, but how, right? Well, welcome to a single mother's off-grid life where we take the divine provisions given and we make magic happen, baby. We've chosen a very different way of living. Most people would probably say it's impossible. But when you simplify your life, work together as a family, and learn to create with what you do have, everything feels abundant, everything feels beautiful, and that's exactly how we feel on the land. Now, our only consistent income being $8.75 a month in child support, we literally have to create miracles every single day. And honestly, it just happens naturally as we trust and believe all things are always working out for our highest good, and we always have exactly what we need and more. Now, when we first moved onto this land, we used our income tax refund and our homeschool ESA funds to help get us started. One of the beautiful things about homeschooling in Arizona is that so much of what we do here naturally becomes part of our children's education, and it's paid for through the ESA program. Building, gardening, cooking, learning in an off-grid outdoor learning environment. All of this works together for our highest good, and this entire lifestyle has become our classroom and covers every subject beyond what a school in a box could ever teach my children. Now, about 90% of our monthly budget goes toward food. So I plan to have food stamps until we no longer needed it while we build food sovereignty on the land. And I plan to use our extra funds from income tax and child support to pay for our building our earth dome, our car note, and any additional expenses that can't be covered by ESA or food stamps. But the divine is showing me and has showed me to continue to have faith, trust, and that is what we continue to do. Trusting and believing, and this is a single mother's off-grid story. So, I applied for food assistance and was denied by Arizona 2 times. I decided to go for a third time. Third time's a charm, right? And allow Divine Spirit to open the portal for food abundance until we are able to grow our own food on the land and no longer depend on the grocery stores. And it's coming. But in the meantime, we have to make do with what we do have, make it do what it do, and work with what we do have. Yes, it is still working out for the highest good. We always must trust and believe that, and we do. So we also make all of our snacks. My children cook their own vegan pet food. We make almost everything from scratch and bulk shop monthly to save on gas. So, as you can see, we are almost out of our food in this bin. We have 2 food bins. We got some kidney beans, some black beans. This had lentils. We eat a lot of lentils. The dogs mostly eat lentils. Here's the flax, and we got flours. As you can see, we're due for an update on that. Then here's our leftovers. I'm gonna pull out my green tea so I can drink some of that. But we buy bulk coconut oil, and then things that we need here, liquid amino. I use my agave for my tea. But yeah, we are out of a lot of stuff. As you can see, it's a lot of our proteins right here. Walnuts, almonds, sunflower seeds, got dates. But we're out of mostly everything, down to the gristle. So we're gonna shop here today or tomorrow for some more food. And this is where we store our foods. We got 2 storage containers for our food, our pantry, and we're probably gonna get one more because we're shopping once a month to save on gas and stay within our budget for food and so forth. So yes, and we got some watermelons still left over from our trip. So doing pretty good. Hey. So today I'm going to be cooking, and I'll be showing you a few meals that I've cooked for my family and all off grid. Single mother doing my thing, and my kids grade me like 1 out of 10. Sometimes it's 10 out of 10. We're fully plant-based and they don't like that. So a lot of times they might be like 3 out of 10, -10, but it'd be good to me. And they have to get used to eating this life off grid and plant-based because we're going to be growing our own food, having our own fruit forest and all those things. So we need them to be eating the plants, the life force energy, the living foods. We do cook foods, and I'm gearing up to be fully raw, uncut, beautifully embodied light body frequency. But check it out. So today I'm cooking some leftover lentil burger patties, or lentil patties I should say, because we had them as burgers yesterday with some homemade flatbreads. And what else did we have yesterday? Some fries. And then today I turned it into a pasta. So some lentil parmesan without the cheese. I'm gonna sprinkle some yeast flakes on it, but here's what I got today. So here is the lentil parmesan. It looks nice and hot. And I work with the weather and work with nature out here. So it's monsoon season. So we have to make sure that we do cook outside of the rain time, because we can't be out here cooking during the rain, of course. So we'll have to make sure we know when it's going to rain approximately and try to cook before then. So I try to cook, enough for like a day or two. So I cooked these yesterday morning, and we're still eating off the same lentil patties that I made. And on the budget too, because lentils are pretty cheap. But yeah, let's go ahead and give this a taste. So here is the meal. And now let's take a taste and see what it tastes like. All right, we're gonna take a bite and see how good this came out to be. It would be better with some cheese, but some vegan cheese sprinkled on top. We don't have any cheese, so. And we're out of yeast flakes. That would be good too. But I did put some yeast flakes inside of the burgers, so it's pretty good. So in the desert, you want to, especially in the summer heat, cook off-grid early in the day. Okay, so do your bulk cooking early in the day. Then in the middle of the day, you want to eat something you don't have to cook or something that's already cooked. Then cook again in the evening once the sun is letting up, because it gets hot out here in the desert. Even in the high desert mountain region, we're in the White Mountain area north of Sholo. So it does get cool out here still in the evenings, which is awesome. We have that little break from the summer heat, but in the days it does still get very, very hot. So about 80, 90 right now. It's been in the mid 90s at the highest. So it does get still pretty hot. Okay. So definitely plan ahead. And like I said, for the monsoon, you're going to want to plan ahead for that as well. So for monsoon, we're watching the weather. We're seeing when the rain's going to be here approximately, and keeping up with that so we can cook and have things available to eat, or have something we don't have to cook available to eat. Make sure we have water stocked when the rains are coming, because we may not be able to drive out of our property. So if you watch that monsoon video, you'll be able to see like we were blocked going out. We probably could have figured a way out around where the dry parts are. But on the main road out of here, it's actually lower and it holds more water even on light rains. So I don't even know what it looks like right now. We've been on the land here on our property for about 3 days with the monsoon rains, and we haven't left the property. But we will be leaving today or tomorrow to get food. So we'll see, and I'll show you. So one of the biggest money-saving tips I can give you, one of our money-saving strategies, is batch cooking. We'll cook a huge pot of beans one time for the week, then use those same beans to create a completely different meal every single day throughout the week. Bean burgers, bean chili, bean burritos, dirty rice, soups, bowls, even homemade dips. And that one ingredient becomes 5 or 6 different meals made so many different ways, different flavors. So you kind of got to be creative so you don't get bored eating the same bean, but we make it happen. Now, one thing I do miss and look forward to in the near future is the funds, a large enough fridge, and enough solar to power to have fresh fruits daily and veggies throughout the month. That is my divine blessing in the making and on the way. And I know it's coming, and I'm giving thanks even now. But, living off grid isn't just about saving money. It's about becoming more intentional. everyone doing their part, everyone working together, feeling that freedom and liberation from the system, and together we are making it happen. This is the vision I foresee as we continue to build towards a thriving community of multiple families here on the land, stewarding the land, serving on the land, helping one another, sharing our gifts and skills with each other and with the world, something my children are learning early on. And people often ask me, well, how do you do it? How are you living like that? And it's not easy. And it takes a lot of sacrifice to be here. But one thing I do know is how we start is most definitely not the end. It's simply just the beginning of a beautiful story unfolding with lots of opportunity for growth as I follow the divine plan given to me. Build on the land I've been given, home a village, build a retreat center, grow our own food, and host healing arts festivals to raise the vibration and frequency of the earth. It may not look fancy now, but stick with me and watch this divine story unfold one episode at a time, for there is never a limit in divine mind. We're building a divine vision. We're paving the way for star seeds and healing artists all over the earth, a global healing arts retreat center, a thriving healing arts community village, and a place where others can reconnect with themselves, reconnect with nature, holistic healing in a simpler way of living and being. So our ultimate goal here is to grow our own food, have our own fruit forests, food gardens, and using permaculture and regenerative farming practices to build up this sandy soil, okay, into good soil. So we have added some soil here. I had a spiral garden which failed because the baby plants were eaten by the dogs, birds, rabbits, I don't know what. But when I woke up in the morning, my good, thriving plants were all gone. So I kind of gave up and said, okay, we're going to start a new garden with a raised bed. And we're not going to do this on the ground anymore. We're going to keep it covered. I was keeping it covered with this shade tarp, which is good for the heat. However, they were still getting up under there. And then my son, all my children have their own garden, but several of them have not started yet. We have compost, 3 compost bins. We enter our raw foods in, our vegetables and fruits. Now, what's growing here is just random stuff we threw out of pots, little starter pots. So I don't even know what these are. But the hills right here are supposed to be potatoes. They never grew. We restarted this about 4 times now, and the potatoes have not grown. I don't know if it's because it's just dry or what, but some things are growing, and I don't even know what this is. But we'll find out, I guess. But it's just random stuff we just poured right here. I was like, pour it in there, we'll see what happens, because at this point, we're gonna have to redo a lot anyway. I think I know what this is. I'm new to gardening and plants, so maybe you even know what these are. If you do, comment below. Do you know what these are? I could tell you what we planted. I'll have to look back at it. But anyway, it is growing, I think, because of the rains. But I'm like, well, why are the potatoes not growing? Because this was a sunburst garden. But eventually, we'll learn what we need to know, especially with the community that will be coming here. We're going to have people who have skills in these things. You know, I'm the priestess pillaring the mission. I have the vision. I have the healing arts. I have the frequency. But Spirit's going to bring us everyone we need to fulfill this prophecy, this vision, this mission, so that we can live off the land and not have to even need a grocery store. That's the plan. Have our own apothecary, our own food gardens, our own fruit forest, and we literally eat off the land like the Garden of Eden.